But it's good to see you as always. You're looking sharp.
That's how
I've
I
seen
roll,
you in the
really.
gym,
Yeah.
putting that work in.
That's right.
So shout out to all of the 67-year-olds. If Johnny could do it, so can you.
Clot, nigga, I start feel ripping out the
Listen,
eye.
you know what it is. We're never going to take each other seriously, but it's all love. You know, somebody put on the TikTok account. I love this. Are these two a couple?
What?
You know,
What,
I
me and
put
you?
a clip. Yeah, I put one of our clips up. Somebody called me a fake yardie. That was funny. Somebody says, "Who is this white woman pretending to be black?"
You're joking.
Oh, mate,
They think you're white.
Yeah, they're saying I'm white. Yeah, mad. But all in a day's work. But we are here. We're at the beautiful Riyadh season in London at a location. We don't need to discuss that. But I'm here with Johnny, not Dryfoot, Johnny MBE Nelson. Nice shoes today. They look better than them Brock Up Air Force Ones you're usually wearing.
Wow. Number one, it's nice to be back in London after a weekend down at the Copper Box. It was all right. Number two, I love this building. Wicked. It's wicked. Number three, where'd you get that old school Adidas stuff from? Because I used to have that stuff when I was at school back in the day. And this is why you're not coming on camera, because you look broke up. It's not a problem. I'm just saying.
I'll take it.
I'm just saying what I see.
You know I don't look broke up, so stop you lying. Anyway, talk to us about, where do we start, Johnny? You know what, let's start with here. We can catch up on the Copper Box in a bit. The rematch press conference is happening, and it is now, rightly so, Usyk Fury 2. What needs to happen this time, Johnny?
You know, I still believe Fury has the beating of... The Fury I see has the beating of Usyk, but the Fury I hear, you know, I didn't think this fight had happened. You know, I've made it quite clear, so this ain't going to happen again. And I know Fury might be telling you lot what you want to hear. Nothing's going to change. You know, I thought I was winning. He's going to change a whole heap of things. You know, he's not going to try and outsmart himself and try and outbox him. He's going to use what he's good at. And regardless of what he thinks of what I think of him, he'll pay attention to that. Or his people will. They can't dismiss it. So he's got to go out there, use his size, use his reach, use what's got him there in the first place. And doing that, I think, is enough. But Usyk now has a blueprint in his head to beat him. You know, and Usyk, just on late 15 stones, got in there with a big guy like Tyson Fury and manned him up, beat him up. But Fury hurt him. You got to remember, Fury, I think, is the guy that's hurt him more than anybody. Even though Danny Dubois had him down, Fury hurt him. But I think Usyk had more dog in him than Fury did. But now he knows he can do it. He doesn't think he can do it. This is where the problem is. And Usyk will download that information in his head and think, all right then. Remember when AJ boxed him? You know, AJ thinking I made a mistake the first time. The second time, Usyk stepped it up another level and proper chopped him up. And AJ was trying his hardest to fight him and rough him up. And he played right into AJ's hands. And I think I think Fury's going to do that. I probably think Fury's a better fighter than AJ, better fighter. And so therefore, he might get a bit more success trying to fight him rather than outbox Usyk.
One of the things that I touched on, I spoke to Peter Fury about, you know, Tyson's trainer originally, you know, Dusseldorf, all the rest of it. And we were speaking about, obviously, the corner advice, and Peter, you know, made it quite clear that there was too many voices in the corner. When you think about the rematch and the importance of this, fair enough, it's kind of like lost its magic spell of the undisputed because now the IBF has gone. However, it's still a significant, very important fight for both fighters. So when you talk about adapting, what do you think needs to happen in the corner this time?
Well, you've got to remember, regardless of what we all say and think we know, and it's not got the undisputed tag on it, we all know this is like Usyk's the man. And so regardless of the IBF of being stupid and greedy and breaking it up, it's silly and it's just a bad habit to do. But they lose that respect from boxing people. Think, why are you doing that? But they probably don't care because they've done it before and they'll do it again. I think both fighters know what they have to do. Usyk knows it's going to be a hard fight. Usyk knows that he has the power to hurt Fury. He knows he has the speed. He knows whether or not he needs to put a little bit of weight on or keep at the same weight to beat Fury. Fury, I gather, is coming in heavier. I've seen
What do you mean you gather? What's made you say that, Johnny?
I've seen some footage of
And you're saying that you reckon he's coming in heavier?
yeah.
How much heavier? I know you haven't got a magic scale, but when you look at
I don't know. I am assuming it's going. So it makes a significant difference. And I see the work he's doing. Not much movement, but they might be working on little trigger shots. They might be working on little things. So I think Fury will probably come in more flat-footed, more offensively than defensively. But he still has the ability to box defensively. It'd be interesting to see, and it's just a case of who can draw first blood.
What about the corner?
You know what? I think, all the noise was about Fury's corner and all the voices in the corner. If Fury would have won, then it would have mattered. And you can't cuss out Fury's corner. No, you can't not cuss out Fury's. You can't cuss out Fury's corner and ignore Daniel Dubois' corner. So when you've got somebody shouting and interrupting what's going on and causing disruption, when it's all good, we ignore that. It was great. When it turns out bad, it's like, oh, that's wrong, this is wrong. I think Fury's intelligent enough and experienced enough to know what he has to do, to know that he knows his job. And so therefore, who is working with the corner just have to take the muzzle off you go. When you come back, listen, that's not working, this is working. Fury's the most experienced person in that corner.
Andy Lee?
Fury's the most experienced person in that corner. He knows how good he is. He knows how capable he is. Fury's he's a student of the game. So he knows what he's capable of doing, and the people around him know what he's capable of doing. Their job is to get the best out of him. That's their job. So that's all their job is. So when Fury says, you know what, they told me I was winning, so now, Fury made a miscalculation. Probably that ego get the better of himself. Fury, I do believe Fury has the ability to beat him, but it's about mindset and tactics going in there. You can't blame anybody in the corner. You can't blame any noise. I know his dad gets a lot of stick. I personally think, you know what, Fury's far too clever, far too intelligent to make a fundamental difference in the fight.
Adapting to adaptability then, the boxing brain, the game of the IQ, both of them high in IQ when it comes to boxing. I know you said that Fury is a fighter, but he also demonstrates really good IQ, and we know that Usyk, you could say, is the elite of the IQ. He knows how to tire you out mentally in the ring. So you mentioned that Tyson Fury obviously will make some changes, some upgrades, but then you've got the fighters there that are able to adapt then and there in the ring. So adapting to adaptability. What does win this fight? Because you're looking at highly skilled guys.
I think the better boxer is Alexander Usyk. The better fighter is Tyson Fury. So therefore, but Alexander Usyk can fight, but just not as good as Fury. So therefore, he'll box him, fight him, box and bash him. Tyson's got to fight, bash and box him. So it's a case of how this seesaw is going to play out. And because you've got two very intelligent, astute students of our game. And one's good at one and one's better at the other. So it's a case of whose tactics are going to work out best. That's how close it is. And again, I've never seen Usyk hurt so much in a fight, apart from that one there. So then, with Tyson, I've never seen Tyson in such a state, apart from that one there. That's how close this fight is.
It's a fight that we're all looking forward to, but I want to touch on, I've got to go back to the weekend. Apologies, I know there's a lot of fights on the undercard, but there's also a lot of people waiting to speak to you, Johnny. Your expertise is needed in the sport, so it's good to have you here. Two fights I want to ask you about on the weekend, and the first one being Anthony Yarde's fight against Ralph Vilkans, a name that, he looks all right on paper. Not really fought anybody that all of us know, unless you like hardcore and gone through the list and gone through fights. Anthony Yarde gets him down in the first round. I'm thinking, here we go, this is it, it's over. But then it isn't. Talk to us about that fight.
No,
Johnny.
I remember fighting someone. I think his name was Dino Holmesley, and I put him down with the first shot in the first round, and I thought this is easy. It ended up going too long because you've had that success. You just think, sure, I'll do it when I want, and then when you want, it's not happening. Anthony Yarde suffered the same consequences of something like that happening. Anthony Yarde didn't look great. He looked good, but he didn't look great, and I'm sure he was disappointed in his performance, and I'm sure that we know he can do better. We know he can box better. But I thought, and then he thought, God, on this stage, I've got the chance to come into your backyard. Why did I do that? Why did I let this happen? And so he was frustrating himself. You can tell in the interview afterwards. My argument is, they're talking like Yarde and Buatsi fighting each other, and I'm hearing it's over the purse and the pay-per-view and that sort of stuff. If these guys want pay-per-view money, they're going to put on pay-per-view performances to get the attention of the public. Both fighters. Buatsi as well as Yarde. They're very nice guys. So there's no kicking and screaming to capture your imagination. Like, I want to see this. You've got two nice guys that are good boxers. One is obviously better than the other. So it's a case of these guys have got to get it done. If you're holding out to get pay-per-view money, it ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen. Unless, they're fortunate enough to do it on Riyadh season.
Well, I'd like to ask you, in response to that, some comments that Anthony Yarde made post-fight when he was sat, ring apron.
Sorry?
Comments that Anthony Yarde made post-fight when it was asked of him, okay, the Buatsi is here, everyone sat at home or they're getting excited, ready for a face-off. And then Anthony Yarde said, well, it's not just Buatsi, there's Dan Aziz and Craig Richards. And it was almost like the excitement just literally drained out of me, and I thought, why are you saying that? Because we're expecting this fight. We've seen in, on clicks on several interviews, Buatsi Yarde next, this is the fight to make. And we've been geared up for this for years.
Disappointed, almost disappointed because his focus wasn't on Buatsi. And Buatsi was probably put there because his focus was for us, the focus was it was supposed to be at those two. They understand and respectfully say, look, there's other guys in the division, and so now do we think Yarde's appetite to fight Buatsi isn't as big as we'd like it to be? Do we think vice versa? After Saturday night, I'm quite sure Buatsi believes, thinking, piece of cake this. But I think those two will bring the best out of each other, and they will. One's a heavy-handed hitter, one's a really good boxer. And they'll bring the best out in each other. They've both got big hearts. We're going to try and make as much as we possibly can. We can only do so much. It's down to the fighters to do their part of the deal.
So in your opinion then, your experience as a fighter, having been involved in negotiations, a former world champion yourself, somebody that's climbed the ladder themselves, to somebody that now stands there and commentates on the fights, that you speak to fighters before they get in the ring, after they get in the ring. Is this fight going to happen, Johnny? That's what the public wants.
I think both fighters realise they're not going to get the money they want. So in that, they've got to accept, you know what? It ain't about the dough. It's about the opportunity, about the option. They've got to accept it. Otherwise, I think they will, because it's about bragging rights as well. It's about bragging rights where the public now will get tired of the to and fro. There's no reason why these two shouldn't fight each other, because they both said they want to do it. There's no reason. So again, they might be corralled into a corner where one of them's actually got to say, no, I don't want to fight. None of them's going to do that. And I think it can happen. And it wouldn't surprise me if it happened on a Riyadh season card. I'm telling you, would not surprise me whatsoever.
Well, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. Hopefully there's still hope with this fight happening. I've been somebody that's been really looking forward for this fight to happen. And it's been about 4 years wait for me. It might be for some hardcore fans that have saw it longer than that. But listen, Johnny, you've got a queue waiting. It'd be rude for me to carry on. We will catch up soon, and it's always a pleasure.
People say I'm toxic, and honestly, I don't care.